Let me ask you something. What would you do if everyone around you got placed in campus recruitments and you didn't? Would you give up, wait for the next cycle? Or would you go out and fight for it yourself? I was in that exact situation. Many companies came to my college. I appeared for two, got rejected in both, and while my friends were celebrating their offers, I was sitting there with nothing. But today, I want to tell you exactly what I did next, step by step, because within a few months, I had an offer letter from Dell. And no, it wasn't luck. It was a process. Let's get into it. When placements ended at my college, the feeling was honestly devastating. You see your classmate moving forward, and you feel stuck. But after a day or two of feeling sorry for myself, I made one decision: I'm not waiting for the next placement season. I'm going to go find the job myself. That mindset shift was everything. I stopped thinking like a student waiting for opportunity and started thinking like a professional who creates opportunity. The first thing I did, I fixed my CV. Before doing anything else, I sat down and rebuilt my CV from scratch. Not a fancy template, a clean, honest, well-structured document that showed my skills, my projects, my internships, and what I could bring to a company. I got it reviewed by a few people. I kept it to one page. I made sure there were zero spelling mistakes. This sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how many freshers circulate a CV with errors, irrelevant details, or a photo that looks like a passport photo gone wrong. Your CV is your first impression. Make it count. With that ready, I started my 5-step job. My first move was to reach out to friends from my college who had already gotten jobs. Not to cry about my situation, but to genuinely ask, hey, is your company hiring freshers? Can you check internally? A lot of companies have employee referral programs, and a referral from an insider bumps your CV to the top of the pile. I messaged around 8 to 10 friends, had honest conversations, and a few of them actually went and checked with their HR. This costs you nothing except the effort of sending a message. Don't let ego stop you from asking. Your network is your net worth, especially when you're just starting out. Next, I created my profile on Naukri.com and treated it seriously. Not just a one-time upload and forget. I kept updating it every few days. Why? Because on platforms like Naukri, active and recently updated profiles rank higher in recruiter searches. Read the job description, check if your skills match at least 60 to 70%, and then apply with a tailored objective in your profile. Within a week, I started getting calls from recruiters. Some were irrelevant, some were for roles I didn't want, but the pipeline had started. This one is underused and incredibly powerful. I reached out to seniors from my college, people who had passed out 1 to 3 years before me and were now working at good companies. LinkedIn made this easy. I sent them a polite, short message. Most people who came from your college have a soft spot for juniors. Many of them responded positively. One of my seniors actually referred me for an interview. Even if they can't refer, they can guide you, tell you what skills to build, what companies are actively hiring, what the interview process looks like. Here's one most freshers completely ignore after placements end: the college placement officer. I went back to mine, sat down with him, and told him honestly I didn't get placed, and I need help. He was actually very supportive. He had contacts with HR professionals from companies that had previously visited the campus, and he connected me with a few of them directly. This led to a couple of interview calls that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. The placement cell's job doesn't end when the season ends. They want to see their students placed. Go back, be humble, ask for help. It works. Okay, this one's going to sound old school. And honestly, even I wasn't sure about it when I did it. But I took 20 to 25 printed copies of my CV, walked into a tech park, went to the reception counters of companies there, introduced myself, and asked if they were hiring freshers. Some people looked at me like I was from another era. Some security guards turned me away. But a few receptionists took my CV and said they'd pass it on. And you know what? It actually worked. This direct approach shows initiative, confidence, and hustle. In a sea of online applications, a person physically showing up makes an impression. Don't be embarrassed to do it. Employers respect people who go the extra mile. While all of this was happening simultaneously, I got a call. It was for an interview at Dell. I prepared hard, revised my technical basics, practiced HR questions, went through the company's background. I gave the interview with full confidence, and I got through. My first job offer, at Dell, without a campus placement. The feeling of that moment after months of rejection and grind, I can't fully describe it. But I'll tell you this, it felt earned. And that made it even better. So to summarize what worked for me, first, get your CV right before everything else. Second, activate your personal network, friends who are already placed. Third, build a strong profile on job portals and stay active. Fourth, reach out to college seniors on LinkedIn, they're more helpful than you think. Fifth, go back to your placement officer, they have more connections than you realize. And sixth, yes, print your CV and physically visit a tech park. It might feel outdated, but it gets results. These aren't shortcuts. They're strategies that work because most people aren't doing all five together. If you're watching this and you're sitting in that same spot I was in, rejected, confused, watching everyone else move forward, I want you to hear this clearly. Not getting through campus placements is not the end. It is just a different path. The job market is huge. Companies hire freshers every single month. You just need to be proactive, consistent, and willing to put yourself out there. Start today. If this video helped you, please like and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more real, practical content for freshers. See you in the next video.